Divers destructions. There have been and there will be many and divers destructions of mankind, of which the greatest are by fire and water. Plato. Above the ruins a bright banner flies, a flag in desert wind, in a city far from ancient wastes, a marker because man makes a desert. A desert. In days of yore, says the Mahabharata, the great Hindu epic, an 18-day war kills 6 million and destroys the paradisical triple city. With an iron thunderbolt, a gigantic messenger of death, from the sky, a magic arrow that contains the power of the universe. In this prehistoric battle, the weapon explodes with smoke looking like 10,000 suns, and shrouded by the fire of superabundant energy, blazes up with splendor. Hostile warriors fall to the earth like trees burnt down in a raging fire. Among survivors, hair and fingernails soon fall out. Birds turn white and their legs become scarlet and blistered. Food goes bad. I am become death, destroyer of worlds. All those who are in the city are horribly burned, and even those nearby suffer searing injuries. Those who look upon the lance of fire are blinded. Those who enter the city afoot afterward become ill and die. Even the dust of Triple City is poisoned, as are the rivers that flow through it. Men dare not go near it. Gradually it crumbles and is forgotten. I will tell you a mystery. I will tell you a secret of the gods. Utnapishtim tells Gilgamesh. The ice draws back, the sun warms the world. For 6 days and 6 nights the winds rage. Torrent and tempest and rising flood o'erwhelm the earth. Wind and water rage together like warring hosts. A stupor of despair goes up to heaven when the storm god turns daylight to darkness, when he smashes the land like a cup. Portentous earthquakes and floods begin it, and the smoke of the country is like cinders rising from a great furnace. The land beneath their feet, so long believed, solid breaks. The great continent of Atlantis shudders and heaves mightily. With a huge roar and rushing of white water, draws away to the west, then sinks suddenly in the deep ocean, is swallowed by the vast western sea. Another day, upon Sodom and Gomorrah, cities of the fertile plain, fire and brimstone rain. But this day one man's wife, longing for home, is pillared for glancing back. The commander of the legion specifically forbids the burning of the Jewish temple at Jerusalem, sees it as a great prize, an ornament to the empire. But thousands of Jews, misled by a false prophet, hide themselves in the courtyard there in the expectation that heavenly legions soon will fly down with singing swords and lift the Roman siege. Against strictest orders, some young mercenary hotheads, eager for booty, begin to drop torches. In the panic and terrible tumult that arises, grab the gold they can, this day of great victory and shame, of collapse of military discipline, one day that the general will afterward rue and punish. But too late, too late. So much disorder, so many screams, and the great temple burns. See you now these great buildings? Asks the stranger from Nazareth. There shall not be one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. At Pompeii, several days of earth tremors precede this night of August 24th, 79 current era, the violent shocks. A great cloud of ash and steam rises from Vesuvius, a plume likened by some to a pine tree, sometimes white, other times blotchy and dirty. At dawn on the 25th, buildings totter. The priests of Isis, at breakfast in the great temple, secure in the promise of Osiris, do not fear death's transformations. Calmly gather the treasures of the goddess, with a mind at last to join the great exodus. But the road out of town is clogged by a panic-stricken mob. They take that for a sign that they should return to their posts. Outside reports an acolyte who locks the doors. The sea is sucked away from shore, leaving fish and other stranded sea creatures clearly visible. Then a great wave roars back. On the landward side, the cloud sinks to earth, a dense black churning that spreads over the ground like a choking flood. A darkness descends, as if a lamp has been put out in a windowless room. Somewhere out there, in the suffocating false light, women shriek, children cry, men shout. Some call for their parents, some pray for death. Many entreat the aid of Isis and the other gods. Still more shout insults at the gates, proclaim she has forsaken them, that the whole world is dying with them, that the very universe is coming to an end. In heavy showers, ashes fall. Fiery lava flows. Everything near it is set ablaze. Even those fleeing to the harbor find some ships there afire, others swamped by the great waves. At daylight, the sun, dim as an eclipse, breaks through, yellowish in dirty air. Survivors are astonished to see everything changed. Even her temple is buried deep in ashes piled high in drifts. And those who remain are terrified to feel the underworld beneath their feet still sharply spasms. Christian Rome in 410 current era stands starkly astride the world, a center of wealth simply too tempting to the armies of King Alaric the Visigoth. As they approach the imperial city, Emperor Honorius decides to flee south and save his own skin, his prized fighting cocks too, instead of standing to fight. But the defenders who remain behind in the walled citadel are steadfast and strong. After a siege of several months, Alaric's frustrated forces raise the flag of truce, offer to withdraw and pay tribute, 300 strong men to serve as domestic slaves to the patricians of the city. The gift accepted, King Alaric announces plans to depart, then makes preparations to break camp and march. A few nights later, at a secretly agreed-upon time, the young Visigoths arise from their beds and converge upon the Salarian gate. Kill the guards, throw open the huge doors. 1163 years after the founding of Rome, Alaric's cheering army, a ruthless horde, pours into the city. Sounds war trumpets and sets fire to fine houses on both sides to light the way for those who follow. No one the Visigoths find within the walls is left alive. Rape, murder, and plunder raise a great hue and cry in the streets of what only hours before was the confident, vaunted center of Western civilization. What the Vandals cannot carry off in several days of looting, fire consumes. Some traditionalists soon declare this disaster that strips Rome of its wealth and decimates its population has been brought upon the city by its ancient gods. Punishment because the empire had, in its decadence, turned to exclusive worship of a once obscure provincial prophet from Palestine. Above every ruin, each man-made desert, a too bright banner flies.